Welcome, my friends, to the Spirituality, Healing, and Vision Quest podcast, where we're going to take a deep dive into universal spiritual principles and ground them in modern day practices that you can apply to your life today. Hi, my name is Beth Berkins, and I want you to know that I am really committed to simplifying ancient wisdom practices. I've been studying them for over 40 years now and inside of them, and I want to give you easy to understand, proven, and reliable keys that are going to unlock true sources of power and healing for you. You're going to walk away from this podcast with some practical tools to create that greater meaning and purpose, that larger purpose that your soul is calling you to. All right, so let's get going on the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Welcome, my friends. This is Spirituality, Healing, and the Vision Quest podcast, and I'm your host, Beth Berkins. I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. We're going to be talking about one of my absolute favorite subjects, which is about life purpose, greater purpose. Lots of names for this, and I think you probably know what I'm referencing, right? Do you ever wonder what your greater purpose in life is? Ever find yourself yearning, perhaps, to live your greatest life? To be more of who you are really capable of being. It's such a hot topic right now amongst, just about all of the people I work with, all my clients in the Vision Quest group and the Shamanism group and other clients of mine, Dream Builder clients, and it's, of course, all over the internet. It is a big topic of conversation. And there's so many ways to think about this. Some people ask, how do I find my purpose? How do I live into that once I do find it? Or what did I uniquely come to this planet to do or to share? I really like this question because it acknowledges that you are absolutely unique, that you've got a gift that only you are able to share and give to others. Another thing I hear my clients and Vision Questers ask is, or say rather, they say, I've got this calling. I know I'm meant to help people. Other people I work with say, I've got this mission. I can feel it in my heart. Help me find my way with this, Beth. And others tell me, when they're first starting to work with me, I don't know what my purpose is, but I'm getting 3 a.m. wake-up calls in the middle, dead of the night, and I'm feeling like there's got to be more to life, and, I feel like life is passing me by. It's slipping by. Time is slipping away. I want to find what that more is, but I don't have a clue. So a famous woman once said this. She said, know what sparks the light in you. What are you passionate about? What do you feel enthusiasm for? Let's explore this idea, shall we? What really lights you up is another way to ask that question. What lights you up? I'm thinking of one of my Vision Questers who lives in the Southwest, and when she came to join the Vision Quest with me, I said, what do you really love? And she said, I love drumming. I love making shamanic drums. I love playing shamanic drums. And the longer she was in the quest, after about 3 weeks, she said, I said, what would you love to do with your one wild and precious life? And she said, I really would like to share this more with other people. I want to teach other people how to make their own drum so they can get inside the sound of that drum and they can receive healing from that heartbeat of the drum. But then, she found that there were these limiting beliefs that she had coming up, old thoughts of, I'm not a business person. I can't run a business. I don't know how to do this. I helped her through those. I helped her unwire from those and rewire some really positive, empowering thoughts. She would say, I'm just a minister. I don't know how to, how do I organize groups and do emails? And I don't know. I helped her through that. She now has a highly successful business, making drums, making rattles, all live, all in person. And she's become a very capable business person. So you might be wondering, well, tell me more. How did she get there? How did she even figure out what she loved? So let me guide you through a very simple yet profound shamanic healing process here. And let me promise this to you. This is going to support you. Even if you're having thoughts like, it's too late for me. I should have done this in my 40s. I knew then that this job I'm in, now I got to wait for retirement. I knew it wasn't for me. It's too late for me. Even if you think that, this process is going to support you, all right? Take a breath with me. Just hang in there with me right now, okay? Even if you feel like, well, I just don't know where to begin. I've wondered about this for years. I don't know. Up until now. Let's put that phrase in there. Up until now, you may not know. And yet, I think inside, there's that still small voice. You have an inner knower. You do know. Let's explore that. Even if you aren't used to putting yourself first. Some people think, well, it's kind of a selfish thing, right? That I'm going to think about something else I'd really rather be doing when I've got all these obligations and commitments and people depending on me. I just can't go off the reservation, right? Into something new in my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. But if you've been feeling like, and yet I really would like to plug into what is my greater purpose? I'm curious about that. I want to know that. Maybe you fiercely want to know that, or passionately you want to know that. So I want to say to you, now is the time. Now is the time. Let's get you going. So if you're in, I invite you to just put your hand on your heart, take a breath, and just silently say to yourself, I'm in. So you're going to be creating now that you're in, you're going to be creating what shamans call an act of power. And the first step, you ready for the first step? All right, here we go. It's to just notice what you're noticing. Notice what you're feeling. When I ask you, what lights you up? What comes right to your heart? Comes right to your mind? Maybe it's the thought that, I really would love to help people get through their hurts and their pains. Or maybe it's the thought, I love being in nature. I love the earth. I love the trees. I love the animals. I'd really like to find a purpose that I can do being outside in the natural world and being with other people, or being with animals. Or maybe what lights you up is having your hands in the clay and making objects out of clay. Or maybe it's painting, or maybe it's writing, or it might be travel that sparks the light in you. Maybe it's helping vets. I'm thinking of a friend of mine who used to be my travel agent many, many years ago in Santa Cruz. And she's an amazing human being. She let go of her travel agency because she wanted to be helping people more get into nature and get the healing from nature, and yet traveling at the same time. So she's got this amazing business where she helps people take walks on the Santa Cruz beaches, from one beach to the next beach, into a hotel, and then down to the next beach. And her work has been very successful. She feels even more fulfilled by it. She's not dealing with airplanes and airplane schedules and Yeah, it's travel that still sparks her, but travel in nature and getting other people out there. So notice this. What's the thought that's come up for you? This longing. And you might be thinking, yeah, if only I could do that. You know, I'd love to lead trips to some of the sacred healing sites in the world. I'd love to work with animals. And really, it's all about love, my friends. You want to do what you love. Spend your time doing that. What is it you would love to give or do or share or have? And know this, it doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be about becoming a New York Times bestselling author. It doesn't have to be about, winning an Academy Award. It's just, I would like to make some films about the otters in the Monterey Bay and show these to other people. And you don't have to know how, right? And it doesn't have to be set in stone. These are some of the things it doesn't have to be, right? Kind of frees you up, right? Lightens you up. You just know, I'd love to do this. I'd love to share this somehow, someday, somewhere. And that's just where we begin. Okay, good. You've got the first step now. Go ahead and write that down. You're doing some really excellent work here. Know that. You've got a transformational willingness going on here. I really appreciate. Because the other shaman's secret is you don't have to have all this figured out. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. You don't have to have grant money and an audience lined up and a podcast with thousands of people in it. And you just have to start right here, right now, to lean in to your purpose. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing ever is perfect anyway. But we can get caught in that trap of perfectionism. There's great power in making a start right now. Before you even feel ready is another one of the secrets. We're never really ready. One of my mentors, Bob Proctor, used to say, we're never ready to make change, to make transformation. We just have to be willing. So let's put a fire under your willingness here. You're still listening to me, so there is a willingness, right? There's 1,000 other podcasts you can be listening to, but you're still with this one. So I'm going to commend you for hanging in there. What's next? What's next? It's a ceremony. And I'm sure you love ceremony. That's why you've joined me in this particular podcast about shamanism and healing. Ceremonies are healing, and they're incredibly empowering. So I'm going to invite you to go outside and find a lovely tree. A tree that you really like. It could be a white birch. It could be a, Monterey cypress. It could be a white pine up in the Pacific Northwest. It could be a maple in the Midwest. A tree you really like. Why a tree? Well, in shamanism, we have the knowledge and the understanding that trees are sentient beings. They're very, very aware. They're called the standing beings. Like us, they stand up. They've got great power and great wisdom. And that's why they figure prominently in so many of the world's religions. They're sometimes called the tree of life, or the world tree, or in Buddhism, the Bodhi tree that Buddha sat under. And he became enlightened there, sitting against that tree for days and days and days in deep meditation. He wasn't just off on a boat sitting somewhere. He chose to sit next to a tree because they're very wise. So go find a tree somewhere where you can put your hands on the bark of the tree. Somewhere where you can be private, relatively private would be good. You're going to spend about 5 or 10 minutes here. And you're going to create this act of power. Very key in shamanic healing work. As you have your hands on the tree, you're going to talk to the tree and you're going to declare to the tree, This is what my purpose is. This is what I would love in life. Whatever you know about it, you don't have to know much to do this ceremony. Just tell the tree. Say something like, I really, really want to help people. Or maybe it's, I really want to help vets who are in despair and feel lost and are hurting. I don't know the how, tree, but I know this is what I'm really called to do. This is what I really want to do. Or I am going to write my book and I've got stories to tell. I want to write this book. This is my purpose, writing, publishing. And you can say again, I don't know how, but I'm finding my way with this. Please be my witness, tree. Please witness me in this. I am sincere. This comes from my heart, from my soul. And know that the tree is listening. The tree will hear you. And it's so valuable to be heard right now at this point in your journey with your purpose. To really claim this for yourself and name this. So that is the ceremony. I would love to hear back from you how the ceremony occurred for you, what happened for you during this time. There is a link down below how you can get in touch with me, get on my calendar. We can hop on the calendar, have a 15-minute call together if you like, an hour call, whatever amount of time you want to dedicate to talking about what your purpose is and where you are on this journey. Where you might feel like you're kind of spinning your wheels or holding back or hesitating or, whatever your excitement about it. You've done some really awesome work here today. Again, I commend you. I applaud you for the work. And now, I invite you to take your next step. Go out and create your act of power. And I look forward to meeting you back here next week on the next podcast, where we're going to look at the purpose ceremony. So thank you for being with me today. I've been just awed by your work and thrilled to share this time with you and these 60,000-year-old shamanism teachings coming right to you. See you soon. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. So any questions, any comments, please feel free to connect with me personally on my website, bethbergens.com. And if you feel guided to, one thing that I do ask is for you to rate the podcast. This way we can reach way more people, and in that way impact more lives, of course. So with that, I'll see you on the next exciting Spirituality and Vision Quest podcast.